I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:32. Thank you so much. We'll start with roll call and attendance. Josh Muchart, Brittany Wold,
Here.
Todd Shiver,
Here.
Patrick Stanton,
Present.
Gary Up,
Here.
Sarah Feeney,
Here.
John Dehan,
Sir.
Jessica Evenson,
Here.
Renee Stiles,
Here.
Bryant. Here. I'm here. We are missing Renee. Did he?
He's absent from coaching. He's
Oh.
coaching.
Oh, that's right. And also Sharon this evening. I'd like to move to approve the agenda. Give me a couple seconds to go over the agenda. Any additions or corrections? Nick?
I move to approve the agenda.
Motion on the table, is there a second? Brittany? Is there any discussion on the approval of the agenda? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously with Sarah Feeney.
Are there any more copies of the agenda or minutes?
I have
Oh.
the agenda. and the
I have
minutes.
mine on my computer.
Both. I don't have either in there.
You can have mine.
Up there. Thank you.
Next, we move to approval of the minutes.
Yep.
We have a couple minutes to go ahead and look over the minutes from last week's meeting. Oh, you're good. Nick?
Under new business item, let's see. Supplemental funding request, presentations. Josh and Dr. Mad, a motion to table presentation.
Maybe it's mad.
Exactly.
So
My motion!
I'm not listed as absent or present.
Gotcha.
So I must have been one of them. I mean,
We have to keep it in this.
Or all of that.
this is a substantial problem.
At this time, are there any additions or just the minutes?
I just have a question.
Nick?
Should, whoever abstained, should they be listed on the motion during the voting process?
Well, yeah, I guess that'd be the whole purpose of abstaining. Remove conflict of interest. To remove conflict of interest.
We have the video to show who did. I mean,
And it is public record. No. I think that's appropriate.
In terms of the process, it's really up to us. As Amanda said, there's no requirement one way or the other, as long as it's shown, because it is recorded on there as well.
Yeah. I think with, since it is recorded, we
Yeah.
should run it.
for supplemental funding request 1516, didn't we allocate $5,631, not $5,630?
That is a very good question, and something that small.
I mean, it's not going to change it, but we'll be different.
Oh, yeah.
5631. It changed a few times.
Yes, 5630 was the correct.
Okay.
That's what I have written as well.
Okay.
Any further corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Josh moves. Is there a second? Jessica seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Patrick, is that a abstention?
I must have abstained, I'm sorry.
That was me last week.
Patrick Stan abstains. Motion passes. Okay. Now we can move on to reports. I have nothing to report.
I have nothing additional to report. Sharon will be back in the office tomorrow, so she will be here for next week's meeting, although please keep in mind with her being out, she will probably be playing catch up to emails and responses. So if anything is pressing or needs an immediate response, still send it to me for the next day or two so she can get caught up. And also a reminder that next week will be our last meeting for the quarter. We will not meet during finals week or spring break. And then we will be meeting again after that first week of spring quarter. So we have one more meeting this quarter until April.
Cool. Going on to communications received. I have not received any communications. Patrick Stanton has though.
I have a message, I didn't know if it should go under communications received or old business, but the letter that went from the committee to George and Joel, I talked to Joel today, they were both gone at a conference when it went. They are working on a response, and Joel would like to come next week and talk to us. I don't know if he needs to be on the agenda. Yeah.
Public comment?
Yeah, doesn't matter. I wanted to pass along that, so that the letter wasn't silent in response, that they are working on something. And just, I guess, put them on the agenda.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. You receive any communications?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Now we can move to public comment. First call. Any public comment at this time? Seeing none, we can move to old business, which we don't have any, so we can move to new business. And we'll start off with supplemental funding request 1517 for the SOPAG annual meeting, the Public Health and Pre-Nursing Club, for the amount of an amended amount of $7,933.84. Yeah, once you guys get started, you guys have 10 minutes to present, and then you get 10 minutes for questions.
Just point it, you your slide. I'm not sure.
Alright. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us time to be able to request for S&A funding. My name is Kelly Cronick. I'm a public health major and a junior here. This is Katie, this is Ariane, and this is Jessie. Please. So first of all, we are a group of public health and pre-nursing majors with two unique specializations. One is community health education, and the other is pre-nursing. We also have a community-based public health internship requirement. It requires us to give 400 hours of our time to. As far as the club goes, we just revamped Public Health Pre-Nursing Club, so we're really excited to bring new ideas into public health here. We have 40 club members and 2 advisors, Dr. Beeson and Dr. Mace. And we go strongly by our slogan, protect, promote, prevent. So one of the core values in the public health program is community service. That's really what we want to do with our time. And a lot of other clubs, you have to donate 10 hours of community service, but we definitely, each member goes above and beyond those 10 hours. Here's a list of a few of the places we volunteer in. This is Kittitas Valley Hospital Emergency Room, Kittitas Public Health Department, the Fish Food Bank, various campus events, and also we have a campus community garden, and 2 of our classes in the public health curriculum require service learning. So one of them is Foundations of Public Health, and the other is Community Building Strategies for Health.
Thank you, Kelly, for introducing us. Now I'm going to tell you guys why we're here. So our club would like to attend the National Society of Public Health Education Conference, also known as SOPHE. And this is the national conference for public health educators, which is what all of us and all of our colleagues are going into once we graduate. So since this is a national conference, it's not usually held in the Pacific Northwest. In recent years, it's been on the East Coast. So, however, this year, the 66th annual meeting will be in Portland, Oregon, which is right in our backyard, so it's really great. And the conference will be held Wednesday, April 22nd through Saturday, April 25th. the theme for this year is Blazing a Trail for Health Education and Health Promotion. During this conference, our students will be able to get a chance to explore cutting-edge research and trends in public health. We'll be able to describe practices in health education and public health interventions from the field. We'll be able to exchange new ideas and strategies with other members of the public health profession and be able to prepare career development materials like resumes, cover letters, writing samples, and more. And we'll also be able to identify and practice skills in job searches and professional ethics in public health careers.
So now that we've seen what we can learn from the conference, we believe that we can get values from it that will apply to our club, to our university, and as well as to the community. Here at Central, we have a school motto of do, live, and learn, and we believe that that can be applied to the club, the university, and the community. So to the value to our club, we're going to have firsthand experience at a national conference, which is very rewarding for undergrads. Live, we're going to be networking and working with a lot of national leaders and other professionals in the field that will hopefully guide us in the right direction for continuing education and even possible future careers. And learn, we're going to be attending a lot of workshops and sessions that are going to educate us on where public health is today and where it is going to go in the future. The value to our university, we're going to host a brown bag session. So those of us that attend the conference are going to put on a presentation for our fellow students about what our experiences and what we learned. Live, we're going to be really representing Central. We're going to have our public health club shirts on, and it'll be just a good way to get the university out there. Learn, we're hoping to make like blog posts and that will highlight our experiences and make it available to our fellow students as well. And the conference will also provide a lot of learning materials and new resources that we can share on our department webpage and to the rest of our students. So value to our community, many of our members have already expressed a lot of interest in volunteering at the conference. So we'll not only be learners, but also volunteers, and we'll be that much more involved. Live, community involvement is a big part of our major and as well as all the future careers that we're all going to be going into. So this will definitely help us develop skills and knowledge that we can apply to any community events as well as in our future careers. And learn, our club puts on a National Public Health Week that hosts a lot of activities and just awareness for public health. And we believe that education from this conference we can apply to our activities in Public Health Week as well as any other community service events that we all are involved in.
So I hope so far that this presentation has been effective in portraying how valuable this conference will be. So with that, I'd like to get into a few of the details of how this exactly is going to work. Starting Wednesday, April 22nd, we'll be driving from Ellensburg to Portland, where we'll be attending a pre-conference specifically geared for students. The following day, the conference starts and we'll be attending the classes and workshops there, along with volunteering. We've set up a few volunteering opportunities for the members who end up going to the conference. So we'll be doing that until Saturday, which is the end of the conference, and then we'll be returning home to Ellensburg for the 20th. So for 20 students, we've calculated the expenses, including shared hotel rooms, the conference registration, the transportation to and from the conference, parking, and the food, for a total expense of $14,413.84. So we expect students to be providing their own food while on the conference. Also, we're asking a contribution from the students of $50 each to just reaffirm that they're motivated and invested in the conference. And then we'll be requesting funds from the club senate as well to help that our club will later allocate towards the conference. So just to, as you can see, our total expenses minus our contribution to this event, things that we $27,933.84, and that is our revised request from S&A. So, on top of our previous contributions, we'll be doing fundraisers. We've put into place a couple of different events, doing t-shirts and sweatshirt sales, car washes. We're working with a few businesses to provide sponsored events for the community. And then again, we're asking the Club Senate to provide $1,800, and then asking the students to contribute $50 for their attending costs. Just to conclude, we just want to reiterate how unique of an opportunity this conference will be for us. This is a national conference. It's a really big deal. A lot of keynote speakers will be there from all over the public health field, where we'll, and it's in our backyard. It's in Portland, so it's very, very close to us, and we don't want to miss this opportunity. To help us to learn new information, practice our skills, and engage the members of our future profession. We see tremendous value that can be shared with the members of our club, other students, the university, and the larger community. And just to, because coming into public health, I guess when I declared my major and when I started the program this fall, I had the intention of being the best that I could be. And I can see that with my other peers, that we all share the same passion. And I believe that this conference, with education that will be provided, that it will help us achieve that goal. So I just would really like to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us, and we appreciate your considerations. So.
Does the committee have any questions?
What was that revised number again?
$7,933.84.
It's on the revised one. I did have one question, and I'm just gonna pull, I think we're on this one. I know on the request, even this one, it showed that there was the committed $1,800 from the club itself. Is that still there? Because I know it's not on the revenue source on the slide on here.
From our public health.
Yeah.
I believe that will be coming from the Club Senate.
Okay.
So in the sense of Club Senate, the club will be asking.
Can you go over how the students were selected? I mean, you have 40 students in your club, but only 20 are ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have approximately 30 students that are interested in this, and we picked 20 as a realistic estimate for how many people who will actually be able to go. So it's not a finalized number yet, but that's the number we'll be shooting for.
As part of your expense request, or your supplemental request, you added in ground transportation. Is that what you're looking for us to pay? Which portions of this are you looking for us to pay in the expense portion of the budget? We have shared hotel, conference registration, ground transportation, parking, and food.
So food will be provided.
Just a point of clarification on there. When we give them the money, other than the exceptions of food and things, it's really up to their discretion on how to spend that for the other things. So there's not really necessarily a delineation
Well, I wanted
unless
to,
they specify it.
I just wanted to specify under ground transportation, we are given a motor pool rate, but I don't know if the mileage is included as part of that, because there's a mileage rate on top of the additional fixed cost that you pay up front.
I'm sorry, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I'm the advisor for the club, I'm Dr. Beeson, and when we got the motor pool estimate, we did include that mileage rate, so the $654.84 includes that in addition to the rental rate.
Perfect, thanks.
You've got 7 hotel rooms. Is that quad occupancy in those rooms, or is that your 7 hotel rooms? Is that what you're believing?
It accounts for 3 students at 7 hotel rooms, which would be 21 students.
Are you planning on staying at the conference hotel?
Yes.
Which, do you know where it is?
It's the Hilton Hotel and that's the rate that we use to make the request.
Okay, and that's a
The
conference rate?
Yes.
Great.
Could you guys speak a little to how many people you could, the brown bag event, how many people you can actually come back and present and help them learn about what you guys learned?
Yeah, so if 20 of us went, and then we come back and present on multiple occasions to multiple groups. We have 40 members of our club, so that would be one of the, I guess, target audiences is our actual club members. And we have different classes throughout our major where we'll be able to speak about different subjects at the event. We could have one for just any university student who'd be interested in it. So, does that answer your question?
I'm gonna, this is the same question I asked before, I just wanna clarify so I can update this correctly. And I'll pull up the actual request here in a second. So I'm correctly marking this, cause it says public health and pre-nursing club funds was 1,800, but that should be changed to club center requested funds. Or was there, and I don't know if this is either, okay.
That's correct, yes.
Thank you. Just wanna make sure I'm
Yeah,
not missing.
thank you.
Are there any further questions from the committee?
Just for imagining how hotel rooms could be shared, do you have like a small number of men? I have this problem when I take students on trips, I have a very small number of men and then they end up having to have their own rooms, or do you have that issue?
We do actually have fewer men in our club than women, and so we had imagined a scenario where at least 2 hotel rooms would be reserved for our male students.
Okay.
But again, it would depend on how many students were able to hold their spot, and that's kind of to be determined at this
Okay,
point.
thanks.
But we have thought about that, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I see that registration ends on the 31st, so how fast do you think this event will fill up?
Can you ask your question?
So like, do you think the event will fill up if you aren't able to receive the funds in time to register for the event?
Well, I don't think that any registration would be capped, but we would potentially have to pay an additional fee for late registration, which we would like to avoid.
So, is this conference geared more towards public health rather than pre-nursing, or would you say it's balanced?
That's a good question. So our major has 2 specializations. There's public health with a specialization in community health and a specialization in nursing. And so the nursing side isn't necessarily, to my understanding, the focus of the event, but it's a
So it all falls under public health. There's not
Correct,
like a
but-
separate, this is public health and now this is for pre-nursing.
It's all under.
for the pre-nursing specialization utilizes public health.
Okay, I see.
Are there any further questions from the committee? Okay, thanks guys, we'll review this next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty, now we can move on to supplemental funding request 1518, the CWU 5-week presented by Equal in the amount of $4,098.
Super exciting. We got really excited.
Okay, there.
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I just wanna make sure.
Me too.
Hi, my name is Jordan Payne. I'm the president of Equal, which is Equality of Employers and Allies.
Hi, I'm Mariah Rocker, and I'm the vice president of Equal. You just said what it was.
Yeah, so first of all, we'd like to thank you for giving us the time to present today. And then we will just jump right in. So Equal is a safe space for queer identified or allies on campus to come and just have a space every week And every year we host Pride Week. It's been going on for 30 plus years. And so it's a really big event on campus.
Yeah, and so this year we'd like to ask for funds from you to help pay for Pride Week. It's a pretty big endeavor that we've been doing for a couple decades, like you said. And so we really want to make sure that we build it up and have a really good week and promote a lot of the diversity within this campus and show that Central and S&A and all of these different organizations that we will be working with to create Pride, to show that they have pride and that they celebrate the diversity and that they accept us. And so it's really important for just helping us feel comfortable within Ellensburg and within Central's community. And yeah, twice. Right.
So specifically what we would use the S&A funds for are our bigger ticket items. So we have a musician who's a singer-songwriter and a transgender motivational speaker. And he is asking for $2,500 to come out. It's around Memorial Day weekend, so it's a little, we have to pay a little more for travel. And then the other thing is our big drag show that we do.
Every single year, and we've been doing it for quite some time. Has anyone here actually been to the drag show? We've had okay, quite a few hands. Did you enjoy it by any chance?
Yeah.
All right, we got some nods. So as you can tell from the people that have been here, it's a really fun event. It's been historically one of the most well-attended events on campus because it's just really interesting and a lot of fun. And you can come out for free and see these fun, just dramatic, exciting acts and get to learn a little bit more about the drag queening and king community and a little bit more about the queer community in general. And so we really love to bring them back, and they've come for a couple years now, the specific kings and queens that we have. And they've requested the same amount every single year, and this year we're hoping that you could pay the funds to provide them so that they'll come here, because in the past it has been paid for by a different organization, but they've had to rethink their budget this year, and so they're no longer paying for the performers, and that's why we thought we'd seek out your help.
All right, so this is our entire budget, and we gave you one of those. So the total amount that we're estimating for Pride Week is about $6,414.30. And on this, it's broken down by who would be paying for what.
It's broken down by the days, and then the little asterisks denote to who is paying for what. That's a little bit of stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to bring together for this week.
So we have the Berg sponsoring us. Our advisor is actually helping us with that. And so they're going to cover the sound systems for all of the things that we need sound systems for the musician, and then for the amateur drag show, which is earlier in the day before the professional drag show.
And then we have the Equity and Services Council, which is pretty much picking up all the small pieces that are left over after the CDSJ, or 88.1 the Berg, and hopefully S&A. And so they're going to be getting all the supplies for the various events that we have going on, including the block party, bingo, the Dyke March, Lab Grad, which is a really fun, I don't need to get into that, I just did it last year. And then we also have to get the drag housing and accommodations, so we have to pay for them. Unlike Ryan Casada, it's not all inclusive, so we're having ESC pay for their accommodations. And in total, that comes out to about $1,096.30. And that number might actually change because as of late, our advisor, who unfortunately can't be here tonight, has been talking with the rec center. This has just been conceived about yesterday, so it's very new to us. But they've been talking to the rec center, she's been talking to the rec center, and they want to host a field day with us the Monday of Memorial Day. And so that isn't something, it's just starting to be in the works, and we haven't yet figured out how much we would need to add to the budget with that. But if you notice, we have haven't used all of our ESC funds to pay for this, so hopefully that's where we could come in and use a little bit more of our ESC funds to pay for a field day. So, to help explain why there's a discrepancy in those two. Next slide.
And then we have the Center for Diversity and Social Justice, who have historically paid for the police at the drag show and are keeping on with that tradition. And finally, what you all will be paying for. So as we said before, Grand Sada is about $2,500. And then the queens, we have two of them that do a little bit harder work than
They
the other
host.
three because they host it and they keep the audience engaged and stuff. So they're $4.99 each, and then the other three performers are $200 each.
And in total that comes to
$1,098.
yes, and so that's what we're requesting from you. Now to give a little bit of background on the drag show in particular, the two hosts that we have brought back for the last couple years both came to Central and they are alumni. And one of them I think actually went to school in Ellensburg, so from the community. And we love to give them the opportunity to come back and give to the school that they were once a part of. And so that's a huge reason why we want to bring them back and we want to pay them that little extra. Plus they're a ton of fun and they know how to host a drag show, as I'm sure you all remember. It's the same people as last year, so if you liked it before or if you've liked it in the last couple of years, then it should be gold star. And then the other three performers work with one of the ones that used to go to Ellensburg High School. So they're based in Moscow, Idaho, so they're not too far from here, and they're fun as well. Questions?
Does the committee have any questions at this time?
Yes.
You said you've had a sponsor in the past. Who was that?
The Center for Diversity and Social Justice.
They funded the whole thing?
They historically have funded the performer and the drag. What we're coming to ask you for.
Oh, that portion
That's
of it?
what they have.
And this year they're covering the police,
Yes.
$500 for the police?
Has the Equity and Services Council committed the $1,096.30 for funds?
We have about $2,200 in our account at the moment with ESC. So all we would need to do is request that money, and we haven't had a problem with it in the past.
The reason that we haven't yet is because if we don't get funding from you, we'll have to rethink our budget and potentially, most likely, take out an event. And so at that point, we would have a different budget for ESC, and we wanted to wait to request when it was finalized.
Do you have an idea how many students typically attend these shows?
The drag show is usually around a full house, which is 900.
Yeah, about 900 people. The last 3 years that I've been here, it's been about 900 people, a packed house.
The other programs are kind of hard to gauge because they're more in public settings and it's more of a traffic type of thing.
Like the block party, that of course is just within the cirque, so it's hard to differentiate between the people that are actually coming and interacting with us and the people that are just walking by. But for some of the other programs, we usually get, at the very least, our club, which can range from about 10 to 30 people at any given time, depending on their availabilities. And so, at the very least, we have them at like our Dyke March, and some of the more queer-focused, a little bit more community-focused, like queer community-focused programs like the Dyke March. And then in the past, we've had different types of entertainment. We have previously brought 2 different movies that were produced by a member of the LGBT community, and one of them was like Gay Best Friend, so it was very related, and the other one was called I Do, and it had to do with marriage equality. And so that's what we've done in the past, and due to the fact that they're movies and the producer wasn't quite as well known, they weren't as successful. We would definitely get people there, but not a huge crowd for the theater. However, this year we are going to be partnering with Campus Activities and 881 The Berg to bring in an actual musical performer. And from what we can tell, what they've been able to do in the past and just how music usually brings in people, it'll probably be a lot more of a successful event than what we've had before. So we're really excited about it and really hope that you'll give us the funds to bring him in because he's a lot of fun. Everything is equal.
For the drag show, the tickets are free, correct?
Mm-hmm. Just gotta show up. There's usually a very long line though. People
Is there any further questions? Alright, thank you. We'll go to this next week.
Cool, thank you so much.
Alright, with that, we can move to public comment, second call.
Hi, my name is Beth Martinez and I am the president of Public Health and Free Nursing Club. And I'd like to introduce you to this row of individuals. They're all club members, so we're here showing our support. And I would just like to say that this conference is like very exciting and unifying for our group to get to participate. I've been to a previous conference, not so deep, but it was just a very great experience for me and a great networking opportunity. So thank you for your consideration.
Is there any other public comment at this time? Seeing none, I'd like to remind everybody that our next meeting is Wednesday, March 11th, here at 5:30. And with that, I would like to entertain a motion for adjournment. Nick Shuey. Is there a second?
Second.
John Dehan seconds. Any discussion on the matter? All those in favor? Any, all those opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting is adjourned at 6:09.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.